I cannot believe I'm making this video, but here I am. It's kind of rare at this point that we get a Call of Duty game that is not connected to an established subseries. The Modern Warfare Reboot trilogy was a big financial success, even if reception from fans was mixed. And the Black Ops subseries is going strong right now. That's kind of left Sledgehammer Games in this weird place, because it seems like every time they do something new, or they try to do something new like COD World War II or COD Vanguard or Advanced Warfare, it's loaded with problems, and it's really held Sledgehammer's reputation back from what it could be. Regardless of Sledgehammer's game rep, you can't deny that they're an extremely talented studio with a ton of amazing people putting in the legwork. Modern Warfare 3 may have been a controversial game due to how it was released, but those of you who stuck with it are probably very aware of the fact that Sledgehammer cares about their games and their community. They were pumping out tons of content updates, stability patches, all kinds of stuff. They did the same thing with Vanguard. They did the same thing with COD World War II. They stick with their titles and they try to support them and make them as good as they can. With all that being said, welcome to the channel, everybody. Jimmy or Chaos. We're talking about Advanced Warfare 2 leaks. I am dead serious here. Now, I love this studio, even if they're on having a rough track record with their games, but what if I told you they might be working on a true return to form? Over the last month or so, leaks have been trickling out about Sledgehammer's next full-fledged project from pretty reliable sources, and in this video, I'm going to go over everything about what Sledgehammer is working on, and once you hear everything, I want you to tell me in the comments what you think about this, because with the way Call of Duty has been moving over the last 6 months or so, this might be an insane change of pace that people would actually be on board for. Granted, these leaks are still a few years out, assuming they're true, and a lot could change before the alleged game launches, but you let me know your thoughts down in the comments. And before we get started, guys, be sure to join the new Team Chaos Discord. We just launched it a week or two ago, and it's already filling up. I would love to see you guys over there. And if you want to become a member of the live stream, that link is below as well. And that means you can play with me on Black Ops 6 on live. Would love to see you guys be a member, and I would definitely love to see you over in the Discord. Now, the leaks, allegedly, have been coming from Ghost of Hope, who posted on X a few weeks ago about everything he's heard about Sledgehammer's future with Call of Duty. Hope, to me, has been pretty consistent throughout the years. So if he says something about the future of COD, I'm inclined to believe or at least listen to what he's saying. So let's dig into what he said. On November 23rd, he said this: "What I am hearing about Sledgehammer Games' future with Call of Duty. Sledgehammer Games are currently slated to lead their own Call of Duty in 2027. This comes after Infinity Ward's game in 2026, which is presumably Modern Warfare 4. I hope not. COD 2027 is currently not a year 2 of Modern Warfare game like Modern Warfare 3 was. Unclear as of yet if it's possibly Advanced Warfare 2 or something new. We'll update that whenever it comes clear." He got a response from someone saying they wanted it to be AW2, to which he responded, "Could easily be Advanced Warfare 2, but a prequel even though it's a 2. So the game could be called Advanced Warfare 2, but take place before the events of the first game, which might actually be the best way to ease people back into the universe. Advanced Warfare had very different gameplay, very different movement mechanics from the COD games at the time, which is why a lot of people had trouble adapting to it. But if they make it an AW2, a prequel, and have the advanced movement a bit more grounded than the last game, that could serve as a nice middle ground between the Omni movement of Black Ops 6 and the crazy jetpack movement of Advanced Warfare." But then again, that's speculation on Hope's part about what the game could be, not necessarily what the game actually is. So I have some thoughts here. Right now, the alleged release schedule for the next few years of Call of Duty is a Sledgehammer game in 2025 and an Infinity Ward game in 2026. It's been leaked several times that COD 2025 is going to be some kind of Black Ops spinoff, and the multiplayer feature will remake all the Black Ops 2 maps. Same way that Modern Warfare 3 2023 featured remakes of all the OG Modern Warfare 2 maps. Now, 2026 pretty obviously belongs to Infinity Ward, since their last full game was Modern Warfare 2, which came out in 2022. So a 2026 release date will have given them a full 4 years to work on their next game. With Black Ops 6 coming out this year, it seems likely Treyarch's next full-fledged game would be 2028 if we're following the new 4-year development cycle, and that leaves a big old gap in 2027. Activision has traditionally used Sledgehammer's games as a way to fill gaps in the Call of Duty schedule as opposed to taking a year off, so it seems likely that Sledgehammer is currently working on COD 2025 as well as COD 2027. Now, that may sound like a pretty large undertaking, because it is, but if COD 2025's multiplayer is going to be mostly compiled of remakes and nostalgia bait, I would assume that makes development drastically easier than a completely new project. The same way Modern Warfare 3's development cycle was only about half of what Modern Warfare 2's was, because it was recycled. So I could totally believe The Sledgehammer is currently working on a Black Ops spinoff for 2025, as well as a full-fledged game for 2027, especially with how many new people Sledgehammer has added to the team over the last year or two. Sledge is no longer the little brother studio of IW and Treyarch. They are a huge company, and Activision has a lot of additional developers providing support to their main COD studios, and they also now have Microsoft money to pick up that slack. So yeah, I could totally believe Sledgehammer has games in the work for both years. Now, before you say anything about these leaks being true or false, or before you say something like Sledgehammer doesn't make good COD games, so I'm not excited, or something like that, I want to extend an olive branch to the studio, and also level with you guys. Out of all the Call of Duty studios, Sledgehammer is the one that has gotten shafted the most times. It's not even close. In fact, their last 3 games were reportedly the result of troubled development cycles and Activision demanding changes in direction. Here's a little history lesson for you guys in case you didn't know. Sledgehammer officially joined the COD team in the early 2010s as a way to lend a hand to Infinity Ward on the original Modern Warfare 3. Infinity Ward made the campaign. Sledgehammer made the multiplayer. Activision gave them their chance to prove themselves with their own full-fledged title, which was Advanced Warfare in 2014. But ever since then, Sledgehammer has seemingly not been in control of their own destiny the way IW and Treyarch have been. The next Sledgehammer game after Advanced Warfare was COD World War II, but according to several insider reports and leaks, COD World War II actually started development as a sequel to Advanced Warfare. But Activision panicked after the reception to Infinite Warfare's trailer in early 2016, and they demanded a change of course and turned Advanced Warfare into COD World War II. That may sound like a crazy theory, but when you look into the details, it makes sense. Because not only did COD World War II launch with way less content than most other Call of Duty games, almost like Sledgehammer was fighting the clock to get everything done and had to cut corners, but there was also a ton of technical issues with the game during launch. Almost like Sledgehammer didn't have enough time to properly test things like server stability and optimization. It was also data miners who dug into the PC version of COD World War II, and guess what? They found leftover game files from things like various perks and guns that never appeared in the final build and definitely did not fit in a World War II setting. But even if you don't believe those theories, that's fine. It's okay. Things only got worse for Sledgehammer over the next few years. The next Sledgehammer game after COD World War II was COD Vanguard. Absolutely wild behind-the-scenes story. Well documented. According to reports, Sledgehammer was originally working on COD 2020 alongside Raven, and it was going to be set during the Vietnam War, but in 2019, development was such a mess that Activision ripped the project away from them, gave it to Treyarch, then told Sledge to slap something together for Call of Duty 2021, which ended up being Vanguard, which was a very obvious reskin of Modern Warfare 2019. Then, the next Sledgehammer COD game after that was Modern Warfare 3, which was originally going to be an expansion pack for 2 until Activision called Sledge up and told them to turn it into a full-fledged game. Do you see what I'm saying here? I mean, needless to say, Sledgehammer has been in a lot of sticky situations over the last decade, and it's been a really long time since they were given the time and space to make a game from scratch the way they wanted to. The last time Sledge got to make something completely on their own was the first Advanced Warfare, and I think it was pretty clear it was their best game to date. The feature was complete. Very clear vision of what it was supposed to be. Super unique compared to everything else in the franchise. Even if you didn't like the first Advanced Warfare and it didn't age particularly well, you have to admit it had a unique feel to it. It was its own Call of Duty, which is something most of the other Sledgehammer COD games cannot say. But would the community really rally around Advanced Warfare 2, frankly? I think they absolutely would. If it's a prequel with toned down movement compared to the first game, think about it. We had Modern Warfare games in both 2022 and 3. We had a Black Ops game in 2024 and are reportedly getting another Black Ops game in 2025. Then, we're going to get another Modern Warfare game in 2026. By the time we roll around to 2027, people are going to be so ready for something completely out of pocket from Call of Duty, and what better way to do that than bring back the Advanced Warfare sub-series? If Sledgehammer has time to cook with this game, which it sounds like they may, I think the community could be completely on board with something new. Also, one of the reasons why the jetpack era of Call of Duty was burnt out so quickly because that era was in the mid-2010s. That was an era of gaming where it seemed like everybody was doing advanced movement shooters. That was the era of games like Titanfall, Halo 5. Sci-fi shooters with advanced movement options were the in thing, so people got tired of it much quicker than they otherwise probably would have. But if Advanced Warfare 2 dropped in 2027, I think people would be open to it. Now, as for the prequel aspect, I think it could be a good idea to slowly bring people back into advanced movement mechanics without scaring them off. Call of Duty has progressively been getting more and more advanced with its movement systems, so if Advanced Warfare 2 came along and added a toned-down version of exosuits, I honestly think a lot of people would be okay. Frankly, I think Sledgehammer could copy-paste the jetpack mechanics from the first game and people would be okay with it because, again, Call of Duty has evolved a ton since the first AW game came out. People are much more receptive to fast movement, advanced movement mechanics than they were back in 2014, so why not lean into that with COD 2027. Show us what can be done with modern development. I mean, show us what can be done with Call of Duty exosuits. Also, in case you didn't hear, it's been leaked by Hope that Call of Duty 2025 and 6 may actually have wall running to some degree. So it's not like COD 2027 is going to be the first instance of truly advanced movement. Apparently, IW's next game is going to have wall running, and the feature is possibly going to be in COD 2025. But at the very least, we're presumably going to have some kind of advanced movement in Call of Duty, well, a Call of Duty before 2027, regardless of whether or not it's Advanced Warfare 2. Hope elaborated in a tweet saying that the wall running rumored to be in COD 2025 is going to be much more realistic than it was in Black Ops 3 or IW, comparing it to what I guess could be done in a real-life parkour scenario. So the wall running would be based on momentum and gravity, so you wouldn't be able to just stick to a wall with a thrust pack like you could before. But if COD 2025 and 6 have this realistic version of wall running, then COD 2027 may be the perfect time to get crazy again with the movement and reintroduce jetpacks. There you have it. I know it's a lot to take in, it's a lot to unpack, but I'm here to tell you, if this ends up being true and viable at all, it could absolutely be a home run. If Sledgehammer has 4 years to work on a passion project, one that they're actually excited about, not forced to do from a publisher, this could be something special. There was a ton of good things about Advanced Warfare. There was. Now, supply drops kind of stained all of that, but so much customization. There were some great maps. There were some amazing modes in this game. The campaign was awesome. I don't know. I'm kind of on board with this. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you soon.